Welcome to the deep dive. So if you're tuned in, you probably see yourself as a learner, you're curious, definitely ambitious, and chances are you're juggling, well, maybe 20 things at once.
Yeah, like a full-time job, family life. The source we looked at mentioned a wife and dogs, which sounds very familiar to many.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, you've got these big personal goals. Maybe it's music, maybe starting a business, something huge.
It's that classic modern problem, isn't it? You know where you want to go, but there are just so many possible paths, so many things you could do.
And that sheer number of choices, it just leads to feeling completely overwhelmed, paralyzed almost.
Right.
Which is exactly what the user review we're diving into today talks about. That feeling of going to bed just frustrated because you had time set aside for your goals, but you didn't actually do anything, stuck deciding. So our mission today is to really look at this personal review of the 5-second journal. It's from Mel Robbins, who also did the 5-second rule. We want to see how this pretty simple tool helps someone cut through all that mental clutter. That decision clutter.
Exactly. And finally start making some real day-to-day progress on those big ambitions.
And it wasn't just minor indecision, right? They were wasting precious time, like literally asking themselves, okay, should I practice scales or record a quick video or maybe figure out this new piece of gear?
Yeah, just spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
Using up all that mental energy before they even started the actual work.
That kind of internal chaos, it's the absolute enemy of getting things done.
And that's precisely what the journal seems designed to tackle.
Okay, let's unpack that. The core mechanism. The reviewer said it was, quote, simple but so effective. So what's the main function here? How does it stop that decision fatigue?
Well, it really boils down to forcing a singular focus. Every morning, the journal makes you pick one specific thing for the day.
Just one.
Just one. Not a list, not options. One core task that moves you towards your bigger goal.
Okay, but one thing. I mean, that sounds almost too small, especially if your goal is massive, like becoming a professional musician. How does one tiny action feel like real progress? Isn't that just kind of setting yourself up for disappointment long term?
That's a fair point, but see, that's sort of the brilliance of it. If you're already running at, say, 90% capacity with your job and family,
right,
you don't have that extra 10% for complex strategic decisions about your goal every single day. The singular focus is like a cognitive offload. It saves that mental energy.
So it's less about the size of the task itself and more about the clarity it provides, knowing exactly what your target is.
Precisely. And a key part the reviewer emphasized was actually writing it down, physically writing it. They said it helped imprint it in the mind, which isn't just, muscle memory. It's psychological. You commit it to paper. It feels more real, more concrete. It gives you that immediate target. Cuts through the noise.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And they mentioned something about how that helps later in the day, too, like when they felt overwhelmed at work.
Exactly. They'd open the journal, see that one thing they wrote down hours ago, and it would instantly calm them down. It's like an external reminder. This is my priority for me today.
It's an anchor.
Totally. When work stuff, emails, whatever, when all that tries to pull you in different directions, that written goal just pulls you back. Nope, my main thing today is X. It stops you feeling so scatterbrained.
Okay, that leads perfectly into the practical side. It's called the 5-second journal. So let's be real. Does it actually take 5 seconds? Because if I'm already strapped for time.
Right, good question.
Yeah.
And critical clarification, no. It takes, according to the reviewer, about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, 5 to 10 minutes.
They presented this as totally achievable and, more importantly, incredibly worthwhile. This person was already getting up early, but they still had to tweak things slightly to protect those minutes.
And that detail about the dog. Their wife took over morning dog duty just so they could have that journaling time. That shows some serious buy-in.
It really does. It shows that if something delivers results, people will make small adjustments. But the bigger lesson here wasn't just the amount of time, it was the timing, when you actually do the journaling.
Okay. This is where it gets interesting, the habit part. The advice, based on their experience, was do it first thing in the morning, at home, when it's quiet. Why then?
Yeah, absolutely crucial, because you're setting your intention before the day throws anything at you, before your brain gets cluttered with work emails or urgent requests.
You establish the mindset first.
Exactly. It sets you up, reduces stress proactively. They contrast it with trying to journal after getting to work.
Which I'm guessing was a disaster.
Pretty much, yeah. At work, your mind's already switched gears. It's full of work issues. You're in reactive mode. It's just not the right frame of mind for something so personal.
Plus distractions, right? People popping in, noise.
Totally. People dropping by, conversations outside the door. You
Yeah.
can't get that quiet focus you need to really connect with an important personal goal. It just doesn't work as well.
So the real takeaway isn't just doing it, but protecting that ritual, shielding that time before the world barges in.
That's it, exactly. You need that quiet moment to get your feet planted firmly on the ground, mentally speaking. Make sure your energy is aimed where you want it, not just reacting to whatever comes up.
Okay, so moving beyond just ticking off a task, which is what most people probably expect, the review highlighted some surprising, emotional and mental benefits that seems really key. What were those shifts?
Yeah, this was interesting. The list was pretty solid. Let's maybe touch on the top ones. First, a big shift in just feeling more in control, more grounded.
Okay.
They went from feeling scatterbrained, bouncing between ideas, the classic overwhelm symptom, to feeling on target, like they knew exactly what they were doing.
That sounds like moving from being constantly reactive to actually kind of authoring your day a bit more.
Precisely. Feeling proactive. Then second, it built a habit of focusing on gratitude, first thing. Now, the reviewer said they were already a grateful person, but they didn't have that specific written ritual. Starting the day, writing down what you're thankful for, it apparently really changes your filter for the rest of the day. You start looking for the good stuff.
Sets a positive tone, like managing your emotional state proactively.
Yeah. And the third big one, which I think connects directly to that learner persona juggling everything, is how it impacts overwhelm.
The big one.
Definitely. That feeling of balancing the job, the big goals, family, maybe other hobbies like getting out in nature. The journal doesn't make the load lighter, but it seems to reduce the stress of carrying it.
But how? The goal is huge, like that music career example. How does doing one small thing each day actually lessen the stress? Seems counterintuitive.
Well, it works by proving to yourself day after day that progress is possible, consistently.
Okay.
It validates that even one focused action means you're moving forward. It fights back against that paralyzing thought of, I just don't have enough time for this massive thing. It chunks it down.
Right, breaking the giant goal into doable pieces.
Exactly. And that frees up mental bandwidth. You can handle your job, your family, without that constant background hum of guilt or frustration about your personal goals being stalled.
And those little daily challenges the journal includes, they add to that feeling too, right? Like stacking small wins.
Yep, absolutely. They're like little bonus accomplishments. You get the win from your main focused action, and then maybe another little dopamine hit from the challenge. It builds momentum, confidence.
Okay, before we wrap up the takeaways, they did mention one part they didn't really use much, the hour-by-hour planner.
That's right. And that's actually useful info, too. Shows you don't need to use every single feature for it to be valuable. They sometimes jotted notes there, but the detailed hourly plan wasn't essential.
Why not?
Because the core mechanism, that single daily focus, had already done the heavy lifting of organizing their mind. The clarity came from that, not from scheduling every single hour.
Gotcha. Okay, so pulling it all together, the source seems pretty clear. Does this thing actually help you get stuff done?
Unequivocally, yes.
Yeah.
According to this review, absolutely. And the reason it works is that it forces you to pinpoint and commit to the one thing that matters most for your goal that day. It's like an anti-excuse mechanism.
Yeah.
It pushes you past that inaction caused by too many choices or feeling overwhelmed. You wake up, you do the journal, and bam, you know exactly what you need to do and why.
So this really pinpoints who benefits most. It connects right back to that learner idea. If you're listening and you have those long-term ambitions, but you're stuck on the execution, like you know the destination, but you just can't seem to nail the daily how.
This sounds like it'd be right in your sweet spot. It helps break down that massive, maybe intimidating goal into, well, doable steps, physical actions you can take today.
It recognizes time is limited, mental energy even more so.
Exactly. Protect those few minutes in the morning, get that single point of clarity, and you start building slow, steady momentum, which for many can break through years of feeling stuck.
That single task focus, coupled with that fiercely protected morning ritual, those seem like the absolute critical takeaways here. That small investment of time pays off huge dividends all day long in focus and reduced stress.
Absolutely. And thinking about applying that idea, that singular focus to your own big goals, brings up a final question for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. Since this journal seems most effective when it zeroes in on just one doable thing each day, what's the single most important action you could take, maybe even tomorrow, to cut through your own decision fatigue and actually move a step closer to your goal. Figure out that one thing, whether it's writing one paragraph, making one phone call, practicing one scale, whatever it is. Find it and start tomorrow with just that one clear focus.